new here, my name is IJ and this is my channel. I just thought I'll jump in briefly for this live because of something that just kind of been bothering me. And I know a lot of you who may stumble across this video may have been or found themselves in the same scenario. So, before I go ahead, please hit the like button, subscribe, and if you stumble across this channel, please, subscribe and support my channel and share this video with your friends and family. Like I said, my name is IJ and it's my pleasure to have you here. Well, all I just want to do is just come on for just a few minutes. I'm not going to stay long. Like I said, it's something that's been bothering me, and I do realize because I'm one person for whatever reason I don't know, but in a way I would say I'm blessed that I have had a lot of people who feel comfortable in their lives to call me up and talk to me and that sort of thing. And we know in this day and age, especially for literally anyone, especially if you're living anywhere in the diaspora or US or UK, wherever you are, time is very precious. And personally, as much as I love to give my time to a lot of people to give them listening ears, it is something that many of us are constantly beginning to struggle with. And you see, one begins to have an idea or feeling as if we live in a society where people don't really care for one another anymore. So, what am I talking about? Well, it's just a short story. And the story is I have a very good friend. I have so many good friends who I do love dearly. And she's a mom of quite a few children. And it so happens, for quite a while, I didn't even realize it's over a year now, but all I do remember is that for a while, it became harder and harder for me to reach her. And often for the past few years since we reconnected, I would say the past maybe 11, 12 years, she knows I'm always there. If she wants to talk to someone, and she knows I'm always there to listen to her. And yeah, and I must say, at some point, after a few years we reconnected, it became almost like everything she has to share is, to some people they will say it's that, but then I say, which of us chooses what path or what life throws at us? So I often find myself having to listen to a lot of issues, and sometimes if there were issues then to do with her marriage or to do with this or to do with that. Anyway, that's aside. I don't want to digress. But what I wanted to emphasize is that, like I said, for a long while, I was having to, like a birthday, I would send happy birthday, nothing comes through. I check her social media, nothing comes through. And at the time, and that was around the time personally, I was experiencing a lot of negative energy from people I don't even feel like I've done anything to. People who, you probably find it in your own life where you're not trying to be a good guy, it's just your nature. You're always there to help people or help your friends. But then you always find at some point there will always be people who will pay you back the way you don't expect it. You're not even expecting any payback, but suddenly their behavior changed around you. And it came to a point in my life, I thought, I don't need any negative energy. If I'm going to deal with anyone, let them come with positive. So that was around the same time. After a few tries, I gave up. Anyway, 2 days ago, today is Wednesday, on Monday evening, I saw out of the blues, my friend inboxed me, oh, please, could you call me on this number? I kept thinking, oh my God, what could it be? Has someone died, or is it, how you think of the words? Anyway, suffice it to say, I won't go into the story just yet. But as I obviously replied back, I was just glad to hear from her. And because when you're not communicating with someone, it's easy for your mind to go wild and what have you. And on the same hand, I do understand there's some people out there who have bad habits of not being or making efforts to communicate with their friends or families. And we are all busy. And I always say to everyone, anyone that picks up even the phone for 1 minute to call you, I know a lot of people, we do things by text and all that. But if you claim you love someone and you can, try it and make a time, even 2, 3 minutes, because we all seem to have lost it with, mobile phones are supposed to connect us more, but we find ourselves wider and wider dividing and distancing from one another. Anyway, what happened was I replied her, and of course I'm terribly busy, and I said something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, you can call me around this so and so time." I'm not going to lie. I was so exhausted, but I was also curious and glad to hear from my friend. Anyway, and yeah, and then we chatted quite at length I mean, Jesus, God knows I don't have that kind of time, but there comes a situation. At the end of the day, we're human beings. There's no amount of money that can buy giving someone your listening ears, and sometimes you don't realize the little effort you make, how far it goes. And so we connected and we had a long chat, and I was quite surprised and flabbergasted and saddened and every kind of emotion. That emotion when you wish you were God, you could just spin things around and make things right for your friend. And this lady has gone through a heck of a lot. And remember, I'm talking with 4 children. I'm talking with an estranged husband who doesn't want to be useful. I'm talking about somebody who's intelligent, somebody who's had it all. And I was sad, but I was so glad to learn that my friend is okay. So why am I talking? Like the title says here, how are you, or am I okay? Are you okay? I want to encourage you, whoever you are that comes across this video, make it a part of. Trust me, it's not easy. I don't find it easy anyway. Sometimes my husband even says, "Oh, I'm too nice. I'm too good with my time." Or it's not about being good with your time. I value my friends. I value my relatives. I value people who value me. Even sometimes they don't value me. Yes, you can do it to an extent. But what I'm saying is, it's easy, just like it was easy for me. I kept thinking, I told her, what have I done? If I've done something to you, at least you could have told me. I mean, I'm not one of those people who's too proud. If I know I've wronged you, trust me. And that's a gift I thank God for. You won't walk all over me. Don't get it twisted. But I am able and capable and mature enough to know and sensitive enough to know that if someone came to me and say, "Oh, you've done this to me," I will humble myself and apologize. Some people can't do that. So you find yourself, or I found myself for a long while thinking, in fact, I blocked through everything and thought, "Oh, forget it," and all that. And wherever you are, especially for some of you out there who are lucky and fortunate and you have family, you have friends, or things are going well for you, it's easy to take people around you for granted. Then when that, God forbid, something happens to that person, everybody wants to be at their best and crying and whatever, God forbid. And it's quite easy. You go to work, you go to your church, your synagogue, your mosque, or wherever you go. You meet people. How are you? Hi, AJ. I'm fine, thank you. Even when things are not fine. Spare a thought for someone close to you. Even that person at work you might think is always looking unapproachable. That relative or friend, you're always thinking, "Oh no, they haven't called me. I must call." And even I spoke to someone recently, there's another bad habit the person was complaining, which many of you watching this are guilty of. If someone you are friends with or related to or you want to call you has not called you, just stop the nonsense. I don't even understand the arrogance of, oh, unless someone calls you, you won't call them. And even no matter how kind you are as an individual, I use myself as an example, it becomes tiring because at the end of the day, to have a decent relationship of any sort, any level, platonic, business, personal, it has to be two ways. And I want to challenge you today. If you have not called that friend, that sister, that brother, that your mom, your dad, or you're bearing grudges or whatever, please give that person benefit of the doubt. You haven't heard from them, especially those of us who are perhaps in the Western world. I say that. I'm not saying people in Africa are not busy, but I say Western world because most of us have to do things ourselves. You haven't got your helper just there. Life is, yes, that life is genuinely busy, but please make out time, even if it's once a week. Call someone, if it's someone who may not be expecting your call, just for 1 or 2 minutes, and say, hello, I just called to say how are you. Just, you would not believe, because you see, I found myself during COVID, there was a period of time, and I have this habit, sometimes I even call people just to surprise them on their birthdays. And when something along the way happens and someone, you are doing it innocently, but you don't even realize you could have dragged somebody out of that depression. You could have, just you calling, or in my case, is a doctor friend of mine, if I would, and I had innocently just posted something, just like you all do. Sometimes I'm not necessarily into all this, what do you call it, motivational posting or whatnot, but I do like sometimes, yes, especially with something that relates to scriptures. And I posted it innocently because it spoke into my spirit. Oh my God, I couldn't believe it when he hadn't even called me for a long time. And he said, Angie, do you know, when I saw this, it was almost as if you were talking about me. It was almost as if you knew what I was going through. Then he began to relate and relate. So all I'm saying is, even your little phone call, even if it's 2, 3 minutes, pick up the phone. Don't just leave it at text, and pick up the phone just to say hello to someone. Because that, just hearing your voice, you may not realize the power of your love, your communication, and the expensive gift of your time. Because time is the most expensive gift we have today. It's not about money. Money can buy. Time is something money can buy. So when someone reaches out to you or you miss their call, do the right thing. Is etiquette and morally is right. Find time to pick up the call. It's easy to keep saying I'm busy, I'm busy. And yes, I'm guilty of it, but one thing I can't give to myself, sometimes I push, and be the Sunday, or sometimes I'll bring out an hour and I'm using my WhatsApp or calling this person just to say briefly hello. And I know sometimes the conversation can go on and on. You can nicely cut it off and, oh, let's continue. Like my friend Jesus, I mean, it has totally sort of blew me away. I thought I was in between making dinner and all that. Thank God for my husband, who's very understanding. And it was quite late, but as she said, the good thing she knows about me is she knew she could always count on me. And whenever she's not able to call me often, but whenever she does, we're able to talk just as if we left off yesterday. And that's true, because this is one of my childhood friends I love dearly, and I do take people I've grown up with dear to my heart. I'm not saying if they're not respecting you. So please take a moment, spare it for someone, and think of someone else out there who may cherish and appreciate what just saying hello could do. And before I go ahead, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. And maybe you're watching this and you're a parent yourself. Maybe you're a single parent or you're two household parents. It doesn't really matter. And you're probably going through challenges with your child or children. I would like to hear from you. And I mean, parents are parents wherever you are in the world, and see what we can rub minds and see what solutions and what have you we can all talk about. So, on this note, I'll stop and say pick up the phone, call someone who you haven't called in a long while. And if you're angry with somebody, put it aside. Life is too short. And if you're thinking, oh, that person hasn't called me, I won't call. I called them last two times. Please give them the benefit of the doubt that they could be going through something you will not understand yourself unless you communicate. Anyway, you all have a wonderful evening. We're here in United Kingdom, in London. It's beautiful. It's almost 8 o'clock, and it's still very bright. And we thank God for life. And on this note, thank you again for stopping by on my live show. And please subscribe and hit the notification bell so when I'm coming live next time, you get the bell. And please, if you have any story that's touched you, or you have a comment you want to make, drop it in the comment box, or there is a topic you'd like me to talk about, drop it in the comment box, and I look forward to getting to know you better. And until then, please look after your family, look after yourself, appreciate life, and much love. Bye-bye.